Okay, if you remembered Saturday's video, it was kind of everywhere, and I kind of forgot the main purpose from my desk to here, and I just remembered. So I'm gonna make it now, before I forget. How did this bike top out at 57 miles an hour with a few mods, and I was not riding it? That is really fast. Redneck was riding it. That's the main one. But what did I do to make it hit 57 miles an hour? And there's not that many mods to it, but the main ones that helped are expensive. But you know what? It's worth it because even though I don't use the speed, I usually keep it around 30 if I'm getting on it. 35, 30 roughly if I'm getting on it. But usually I cruise at about 15, 20, and that's good enough. And it makes the fire come out. But yeah, so this is what I did. All right, step one. You can do this with the stock exhaust too. You take an angle grinder and you cut the entire baffle out, not unbolting it. Literally cut it out. And, oh, you can actually see inside. Yeah, so that is step one. You want a free-flowing exhaust, because especially this one, because that exhaust is very restricting and just, it sounds plain awful. Step two. Now, again, on the exhaust thing, I'm just going to go back to that really quick. This pipe is great. That pipe gave me a lot more low-end torque, but this is more higher-end torque, which I like because, let's face it, I'm not really ever going slow. So this is fantastic. Now, second thing that I did, and this one wasn't really for speed. This one is for longer riding, a little bit better low-end torque, was this high compression head. This head is fantastic. I got it mainly for the ridiculously tall fins on it. I mean, these are massive, and the motor takes forever to overheat. I've done a 7-mile ride cruising at about 20 down the street, like going down the beach and whatever, and the bike would not overheat. And that is in like 95-degree weather. And when I rode it in the winter, it just got warm. It never got hot, and it was amazing. So I would definitely recommend one of these, maybe even as your first mod. The next one I did was back here. I dropped it to from a stock 44 to a spoke mounted 36, and I did a burnout and broke the wheel. So I got a center hub mounted, which was on the 212, but this is a different center hub mounted 36-2 sprocket. And just a side note, the bolts on this are not stock. These are aftermarket. Kind of broke them, and they strip out very easily. Like the head, not the actual threads. The threads are solid, but the head strips out very easily. But yeah, great mod. I would definitely get a center hub mounted sprocket if you're gonna upgrade. It's a little bit more, but this is definitely worth it because you won't go through as many wheels as if you were doing the spokes. Okay, the next mod I did, and people sometimes, this is controversial sometimes, but this is a stock carburetor. This is just a different intake, but it's kind of like a scoop style. I don't know, I like it. Or you could take the stock intake and drill some holes in the back, and it'll help bring in air a little bit better, but mind the dirtiness. But I have a 0.68 millimeter jet, which is actually for a Predator 212 carburetor, but actually I shouldn't take the credit. I made Redneck custom fit it so it fits in this, because it did not fit. We had to kind of drill out the jet housing, and somehow we got it in there. But that definitely gave it a little bit more power because I'm dumping more fuel into the motor, and yeah, she screams. Okay, the last and final thing that, like, this thing topped out at about 45. This is what sent it all the way up to 57. Nitrous. Now, if you have money and you can afford the, whoa, if you can afford these refills, kudos to you. These are expensive. These are about $2 a piece. So if you can afford that, awesome. But one other thing that is kind of cool about the nitrous is the line is so big, it acts as a boost bottle. So you can actually see fuel flowing up in here and kind of bouncing in between this and through the line. But when I punch it, you can see the fuel kind of being sucked in. So it's kind of cool. It's also fun to get like ATF, 85W140 gear lube, motor treatment. That's how I kind of cleansed it. Just stupid stuff like that. You can suck it straight through the line. It bypasses the carburetor because it's a vacuum. So you're not dumping any of that crap in here. It goes straight into the motor, burns it, comes out the exhaust into a smoky awesomeness. So that's another pretty crazy thing. That sent it from 45 to 57. That was it. That nitrous is the biggest thing. Now, I could literally do ported and polished internals and all that crap, but I'm scared to go in there. So I'm going to leave the internal stock, and this is basically the main way. If you want to say it goes that fast and prove that it can go that fast, just get nitrous. And really only use it when you're trying to impress someone. Or if you're doing a burnout and you start kind of stopping, hit that nitrous button and it'll go ring and start spinning it. That's also really fun to do. But I forget what I was about to say. I'm out of it. I am tired. Okay, so I completely lost train of thought, so I'm just going to end the video here. I'm going to put links in the description to the entire build, from the sprocket, the exhaust pipe, the head, my carburetor. I'll even put my Doodlebug throttle that with no kill switch, just a heads up. But this is so smooth, it's so much nicer than the stock one. It feels better, and you get 2 grips. But the cable fits the carb, which is amazing. So, yeah, that's just, it's amazing. Plus, I have this kill switch here. This is the main one, because when you do the fire, and for the people who can't figure out how to do it, Mini Cooter tried it, and he got it to do it first try. So you might not have the right amount of back pressure. You may, be running a different exhaust pipe. Who knows? But Redneck's bike has done it before, and mine does it constantly. So stop crying and try some different ways. I learned it just by riding, hit the kill switch, and it started doing it. Maybe you're not running it hot enough. I don't know, but quit crying about it. Just figure it out. But when I'm going, I do full throttle, and I'm holding the camera so I can't do it, but I'm holding the throttle wide open, holding the kill switch, leaving the clutch engaged, and I'm doing about 20. And it just drags the motor. It goes puff, 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 puff. And once it kind of stops making the noise, I just start going again. That's it. But yeah, so I'm going to stop babbling again. I mean, there's been a lot of babbling videos. Hopefully we get back into the fun and exciting ones. And I know people have been wanting me to work on a bike, so there you go. I'm working on that. And yeah, so that is how it hit 57 miles an hour. And that's really it. And then also, I'm going to get rid of this rust. I'm just going to paint over it. I'm not really going to sand it or any of that. I'm just going to paint it, so whatever. But yeah, talk to you guys in the next one.